Hey, Juice Heads out there. How you guys doing? Welcome to episode 7, the Super Wildcard Weekend special edition of your NFL Boycott Club. What we're going to do today, we're going to preview the 6 games. We'll talk a little bit about Week 17. But first, I want to take it away to our co-host, our man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Gio. How you doing?
Pretty good. We've been off for a while, but we're back.
We had a lot of bye weeks.
We did. It's for COVID, right? That's why we were off for so long.
That's right. That's right. And what would it be at the NFL Boycott Club without your official Mike Francesa?
There you go.
Diet Coke. So, Mr. G, what's the first game we got on the docket?
So it looks like the first game of the playoffs will be Colts versus Bills. That's an interesting game. I like that. I like that matchup. I don't think the Bills are going to run away with it like everybody thinks.
What do you think?
Well, it's a big spread. Bills are -6.5. I don't see them covering. I think it's going to be a close game. Indy's been very good all year, and I'm not gonna doubt them now. I'm going to take the Colts +6.5. I see that game being a very good one, actually.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a good game to kick off the playoffs. And I remember back in, it must have been the 98 playoffs, so 99 in January, the Bills and Dolphins were playing in the wild card round on a Saturday. I just at like 1 o'clock, but I just randomly remember that. But that just goes to show you it's been that long since you had teams like the Bills and Dolphins in the playoffs playing.
Oh, yeah, well, especially the Bills.
And I remember that game was up in Buffalo.
Okay. That's probably the last time they won a division because the Pats have won a division every year since 2001. So maybe right around that time was the last.
I mean, maybe the Jets won it in 2000.
True, they could have won it. They could have been in wild card. The Bills.
Anything's possible,
But this is their first division win. Now that Brady is out of the AFC East, so good for them.
Yeah, good for them. And with the spread, you never know what can happen. But I think the Bills. I don't think the Colts are a formidable enough opponent for the Bills. I could see the Bills. I could see the Bills covering here.
I respect that. I could even see a blowout by the Bills, but I'm just going with my gut here. The way the Colts have been playing all year, they have a good defense. Their offense has been on point. I just see a close game, in my opinion.
All right. So what's game number 2 for Saturday? What do we got?
And then the 4 o'clock matchup will be the Rams and the Seahawks.
That's going to be a good one.
Which is also an intriguing matchup. Very good one. I like the Rams here with the points. Looks like Seahawks -3.5. Give me +3.5 for the Rams. They usually play the Seahawks tough. It's a divisional game, oddly enough for a playoff matchup, but it is a divisional game, and how those games wind up. It's always close.
They're always close. Yeah, they always play pretty competitively.
Yeah.
What do we got here on the spread?
-3.5. Your boy.
And again,
Russell.
Being on the road really doesn't mean much this year.
No.
Especially because Seattle, that stadium usually makes a difference in a regular year.
When there's fans in that stadium, it's a huge difference. This year, not so much, obviously, but that is the home of the 12th man. I mean, you can't even hear the audibles in that stadium. The quarterbacks have
hot route.
Hot route. They got to do silent counts. You can't hear anything. The stadium is so loud.
So it says here in my information that Rams quarterback Jared Goff has had limited participation in practice as of yesterday. So they're probably going to try to get him to start. I would imagine.
Yeah, you got to go out there. I mean, that's if he's playing, I'm taking the points. But I don't even know who their backup is. I think it was who the hell was it last week? I forget.
Their backup might be better than him, though. In all honesty.
Now, I think he's good for what they do. I mean, he can. That's the thing about Goff is he'll get you to the playoffs.
He's a good role player for the team, for the system.
They have good offensive players. They have a good defense. He'll get you to 10 wins, but
McVay knows how to coach him. He's built the offense around him pretty well.
You could tell that when Goff is out there, McVay's like, do not throw the ball long. We're keeping this short and sweet. West Coast offense.
Fuck yeah. That's what they do. And you know what? The Rams, they've ever since they fired Jeff Fisher and hired McVay, they've been pretty fucking good. They've been all right.
Jeff Fisher was the ultimate 7-9 coach. Every year, I feel like he got a 7-win season.
Yeah,
that freaking guy.
The guy, he was never the same when his boy came up 1 yard short at that Super Bowl against the Rams.
Yeah, in Tennessee. That was a great game, but 1 yard away from the tie.
Super Bowl 2000.
People always forget that was for the tie, that touchdown, not for the win.
But still, I mean, that still ended the game. That was still the last play of the game.
Yep. One of the biggest tackles ever.
All right, and it looks like our night game. We have the Bucs taking a trip to the swamp.
Oh, this game is garbage. I mean, does Washington really deserve to be in the playoffs after
Well,
after
no.
the tanking of the Philadelphia Eagles last week?
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Let's address that.
Please do.
So you had the Eagles come in to DC last week, aka the Swamp, and they brought in like half their starters, right? Did they even bring in half their starters?
Well, they were down by 3 going through 3 quarters, so they had a chance to drive and win the game, and he pulls the starting quarterback out. If that's not the definition of tanking, I don't know what is. That is the definition right there. You know, it's one thing to do what like Pittsburgh did and say, okay, we're gonna bench Ben before the game starts.
Well,
We're
yeah,
gonna
but
put
that
him
makes
back
sense.
up.
They had everything locked up,
Right,
You know,
but Philly was like, we're going to start the starters, go out there and try to win. Oh, shit, we're about to win. We want a higher pick. Pull the starters, let's lose the game. That is freaking pathetic.
these should be penalized for that.
They were
honestly.
talking about penalizing them, and even your boy Joe Judge called them out.
Oh, really?
Oh,
What
yeah.
did he have to say? But I like him. By the way,
He was just saying it's disrespectful to the game to do that. Like you're losing on purpose in the middle of a game.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, Giants even though the Giants aren't a great team, we all know that, they should be in the playoffs right now, playing the Buccaneers.
Well, Tampa Tom is going to light up any team in the NFC East at this point.
The way he's playing. But keep in mind, they played Tampa earlier in the year. They only lost by 2, the Giants.
That's true.
And they actually should have won that game.
That's a good point.
But I see Tampa Tom covering here. Washington is not a good team. They won because Philly pulled their starters. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, 8.5. Give me Tampa Tom all fucking day.
I'll take
on
that.
8.5. So those are the 3 Saturday games. And by the way, this is we talked about this earlier in the season. They expanded the playoffs this year from 12 teams to 14 teams.
Yep.
Thereby pussifying the NFL even more. And you know what I said on my show not last night, 2 nights ago on my solo show? I was saying, you know what? What's going to stop them from just doing 8 seeds per conference and giving that number 2 seed the bye week back? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I could actually see that.
And then it would be like the
happening.
NBA. Half the fucking teams will be in the playoffs.
I hope not. I really hope not. But you know what I will say about this expanded playoff? It's a triple header on both days. Is that
Right. I mean, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'll like that.
Yeah, 3 games each day. I'll take it.
That's the good part about it. But I think you're watering down what it means to get to the playoffs, though.
Right. No, definitely. And especially now with the 2 seed used to obviously get the bye. Now they don't, which kind of sucks, right?
Well, I was talking about that too on my solo show. I don't even know if you want the bye week anymore because if you compare it to the 90s and look at the last 20 years, the teams that get the bye week in the divisional round, they don't really win a lot.
Struggle
compared to
They struggle
prior to 2000.
Yeah, I mean and the thing about football is like you can't really say, oh, they have a bye week, so it's easier road to the playoffs. You still have to win 2 games, and 2 games in the NFL is a lot more difficult than 2 games in like basketball or hockey or baseball. You know what I mean?
Right. You're not playing a series.
Like 2 games is not easy. Obviously, but like we said, 1 extra game is not really a big difference. You have more momentum, I think, when you win that game. So the bye week teams usually do struggle. It seems like.
Yeah. And these games, I think they're going on at 1, 4:30, and 8:15 is will be the times, and they're going to be on all the channels: Fox, CBS, NBC, ESPN. So Sunday at 1:00, it looks like it would be a CBS game. I don't know if this information fucking tells me the channel it's on.
It actually says ESPN for the Sunday game.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, Sunday at 1 on ESPN. That's a weird time slot for ESPN, Sunday at 1.
Yeah, I don't know how they got that one. You would figure it'd be on one of those 2 or 5 networks, but I guess they pay a lot of money for it. Who knows?
Yeah. So and all right. So we have the Ravens at the Titans for that game.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, this is a rematch. I think from the last playoffs.
From last year, yeah. Titans beat the Ravens, but the Ravens were obviously a better record team last year, and Titans beat the Ravens in the divisional round.
Yeah.
Which was a huge upset, as we all know. I mean, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, that was a crazy game to watch.
Yeah. And now they're playing again, and I think Tennessee is actually better this year, and I think the Ravens have regressed since last year.
Absolutely.
So this could be a good game. I'm not going to say the Titans are definitely going to win because they have struggled this year against good opponents. In that Packers game, they looked absolutely horrible against Aaron Rodgers, which a lot of teams do, but that's a game that you want to put a better performance on that.
So you think so? Are you taking the Titans +3?
Yeah, I would, and I would even take them to win. Because if you bet them to win, you're gonna get good odds as an underdog. And are they really a dog? I mean, they could even be a favorite in some books.
Yeah.
So take them to win. You'll get some good odds on that game.
Yeah. No, I'll take the Titans getting 3 points.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's in Tennessee, which I'm a little confused about.
Well, they won the division.
Oh, right. I'm thinking the Ravens won the division. That was the Steelers.
Right.
Steelers look so bad the last month. I don't see them as division winners.
Dude, talk about backing into the playoffs.
Oh yeah. Well, they're lucky they went 11-0.
Yeah.
Because they lost 4 of the last 5.
Well, we were watching the game on Monday night over at Franklin when they lost to the Washington Redskins.
Right. That's right. Yeah, they did lose that game.
And that was the first game they lost all year.
And they had a big lead that game too, and Washington came back and beat them.
Yeah.
And they lost to the Bengals with a backup quarterback.
Unbelievable.
And I will, not to brag, but I did bet the Bengals that game plus 14.5, which not only did they cover, they won the game.
Hey, that's a nice cushion because you know what team could never cover 14.5?
Who?
The Jets. They could not cover that.
They'll lose by 20 or 30.
Yeah. The 4:15 game, the Bears are going to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's kind of on the Saints bandwagon with this game. The Bears, talk about backing their way in the playoffs, they lost the last game of the season, but because Arizona lost, they had the tiebreaker, right? They were both 8-8, and the Bears backed in because they had a better, I guess, conference record.
The Bears got that number 7 seed that a year ago would not have existed.
Right. And in this circumstance, this is a team that doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs, but they made it. They backed in. Although the Bears have looked better the past month once they got rid of Foles at quarterback. But
can you believe that? Like, we thought Foles was going to come in and like be amazing, and then he just sort of shit the bed.
Well, it's the same old story with him. He plays good in the postseason and bad in the regular season. I mean,
does that remind you of anyone?
It does actually ring a bell. So why not put Foles in this game, right?
Right. They should. If the Bears were smart, they would fucking start Foles.
Put him in this game. Why not? I mean, what is it? What's it saying? It's -9.5. Got to go with the Saints here to win by 10. Why not?
They should.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I concur on that one.
Yeah, so let's go with the Saints. I just don't see the Bears putting up a good fight in this game. If they do, all the power to them.
And last but not least, on Sunday night, which you think would be on NBC, and it is. It turns out it is on NBC.
Yes.
So you get one game on the right channel at the right time
Right.
on the right night. And you have the Browns and the Steelers, another division matchup in the playoffs, which it's always fun when teams play each other for a third time, I think.
Yeah, and also they played last week, so they're playing again.
Oh, did you know that if Jacksonville beat the Colts, the Dolphins would have got into the playoffs and they would have had to go back to Buffalo for the second straight week where they got spanked, where Buffalo put up 56 points?
I didn't know that they would play Buffalo, but I did know that if Jacksonville won, then the Dolphins would have made it. I do know that.
Yeah.
But I don't know
But they would have had to go right fucking back to Buffalo.
Well, I guess that makes sense. You're just swapping Dolphins and
Colts, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think no one really was going to see Jacksonville win that game for one reason, because they get the number 1 pick. And,
they got to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and 2, because the Colts are just a better team than Jacksonville.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. I mean, the Dolphins got spanked. I'm just not sold on this guy Tua, man. They bring in Fitzpatrick as the closer in those games. Last week he couldn't play because of COVID. But I don't know if that made a difference because they still got killed.
They were talking shit about the Dolphins having bad luck because look at your boy in San Diego. He's been on fire as a rookie quarterback.
Oh, Herbert, yeah. Yeah, he's good. I mean,
who knows, man? Maybe it's that injury that Tua got in his last year in college. Maybe that's why he's just not, or maybe he's just not an NFL quarterback.
I don't think so. I really don't think he's an NFL quarterback. I mean, you know what? I'm sick of these, let's tank for Tua, let's tank for Trevor. I mean, does this ever work for these teams? What good is Tua now?
Well, it worked for Andrew Luck. I mean, when Peyton Manning got hurt,
he was the last quarterback I could remember that actually played well. After he got gassed up in college.
Right.
And that was 7-8 years ago?
More than that.
What quarterback
that was 10 years ago.
Is it that long?
Yeah.
So
he was a rookie in 2012.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. We're in 2021 now. I keep forgetting. But can you think of a quarterback since him that's been so gassed up that's come to the NFL and actually played well? Because I can't. It's all been later picks.
Nobody that's been hyped has played as well as they played in college. And
no.
I remember, everyone was blowing Tim Tebow as a quarterback.
Yeah, and then you know what it was? Like, people were blowing him, but like they knew deep down he wasn't good. But they were just like, oh.
When did they figure out that Tim Tebow was not going to make it in the NFL as a quarterback? Was it before he got drafted? Was it I don't think he was he a first rounder?
No, he wasn't a first rounder. He was drafted late, and he wasn't even drafted as a quarterback. He was drafted as like a tight end or something.
No, I think he was drafted as a quarterback, but he was like third string when the season started.
Right. But he wasn't drafted high. I mean, we could look it up, but I was pretty sure it was like late third round,
so
maybe fourth round.
They knew early on with him that he was not going to be good in the NFL.
Yeah, and then a team just kind of took a shot on him. I forgot who even drafted him. Was it the Broncos or something?
Yeah, because that's when he won that one playoff game.
Right.
In Denver.
Yeah, he came in the last like couple weeks of the season.
Yeah. They were like, fuck it, let's just might as well to see what he can do.
Yeah, they just took him. Oh, he won 2 championships in college, so he's got to do something right. Obviously, he's not a good quarterback, and he wasn't a good position player either. So
well, and if you remember the year Luck was drafted, the big debate was who you taking first, RG3, who's still in the league. He's on the Ravens,
which is funny.
Yeah,
I can't believe he's still playing.
And are you taking RG3 or Luck?
Yeah, I mean RG3 made a name for himself because in Baylor he just lit it up. But
I even haven't heard the word Baylor since RG3 left.
Yeah, he was good on those Baylor teams were good with him. He actually won the Heisman. It wasn't Luck who won the Heisman. It was RG3.
Yeah, you're right.
And then, but Luck was, I think, the better choice. He's the better pocket passer, and he is a good quarterback. Unfortunately, his line got him killed, and his career went downhill. What, like 3 years ago?
More than that.
3 years?
More than that.
When did he retire? I forget. Was it more than 3 years ago?
Oh, you're talking about Luck.
Yeah.
Oh no, Luck just retired last year for the Luck retired in the preseason for the 2019 season.
Was it? Okay, I was thinking 2018.
You were close.
Yeah, I'm a year off.
You're close. But yeah, speaking of Heisman Trophy winners, Baker Mayfield playing his first playoff game.
It's so funny to hear that in the same sentence. Baker Mayfield and Heisman Trophy.
Right?
I hate him. But yeah, I mean, what are they getting? 6 points. Steelers are 6-point favorite.
Dude, I'll take the Browns getting 6 points. They're playing pretty good lately.
That's a tough game. My only concern with this game is the head coach is out.
The head coach?
He's out. He can't be in
the head coach is out.
The head coach is out. He calls the plays on offense.
Why is does he have COVID?
He has COVID. So, I mean, obviously
he can call the head plays remotely, can he?
I'm sure he can, but think about it, like, where's he going to be? He's going to be like watching TV, like, you know what I'm saying? It's different.
Dude, you could be in Florida coaching a high school game and I could call the plays.
Well,
with what I have here.
That's high school. I mean, these guys want to be in the sideline and see what's going on in the defense, you know? It's a big thing not to be there. They can see the defense a little bit better right in the sideline, you don't think?
I didn't think about that. That's a good point. So did they announce a play caller?
I don't know. I guess it'll be their OC, but who knows? I mean, he'll definitely have some say in what's going on, but it's different. He's not going to be there. So that's a big factor. But this is a weird game. Like, I don't trust the Steelers. My feelings about the Browns. I just never trust them. This could be a close one. Who knows?
The Browns could win outright, but I like them getting the points.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take the Browns here. Interesting game though. That should be a good one.
Yeah, and it'll be a good Sunday night game. We'll be nice and blasted for it, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
By the time that one goes on. And yeah, so that pretty much covers the Super Wildcard weekend and our super predictions for it. So, what is your biggest surprise of the 2020 season?
Biggest surprise? I haven't even thought about that really.
Right.
I guess it would probably be biggest surprise. That's a tough one. You know, if the Steelers had kept playing well, I would have said they were the biggest surprise because when they started off 11-0, that was just crazy to me.
That was a crazy run.
Yeah, it's like, is this team really that good?
That's like winning a lot of hands in a row in blackjack.
Yeah, so if they would have finished like 14-2, I would have been amazed by that. So I guess up until November, they were the most surprising thing to me. Then it kind of changed. But all year, it's hard. Wow, what's yours?
Well, I have two. I'll stay in that division. I'll say actually how well the Browns played. The Browns legitimately, at first I thought it was a little fluky in the first half of the season.
Right.
But I think they've proven to be a formidable team. I wouldn't say a top 10 team in the league, but they're formidable.
Give them props. It was their first playoff appearance in, 18 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But overall, what I found the most surprising this year was that we had a year, was that they actually made it. Because if you look at all the other top 3 sports leagues, all their seasons got all fucked up, right?
Yep. Right.
The Steelers actually got the most fucked over from COVID because they had to reschedule games twice because their opponents had fucking COVID. But that's my biggest surprise is that we had 17 coherent weeks, and we had a couple of weeks where we had games at weird times. But for as much as the NFL does wrong, they actually did a good job managing the COVID situation and getting through the season.
That's a good point. I didn't think about the fact that they would get through it. That's true. I think we all kind of thought like, oh, another COVID case. Here comes cancellation.
Right.
But they put the games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which why not?
Right.
Why not? Like, is that illegal? Is there a law you can't play on a Wednesday? You know?
Right. And who knows? Maybe they'll give us a game or two a year on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Fuck it. Right. What else are we doing?
I've always been I've always been in favor of that. Why not put a game on every night? Why not? I mean, what is wrong with that?
I don't see a problem because that's why we have bye weeks anyway. So you just give them a bye week when you put them on a weird day.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm not saying play on Sunday and Tuesday, but you play on a Tuesday and then
you get your bye week.
Get a bye week, yeah. So I'm not really opposed to that. I think they did a good job. I'm surprised we're here in the playoffs. If I was these playoff teams, though, I'd probably be careful and probably quarantine these players because you don't want someone like Patrick Mahomes having COVID, then he can't play, right?
That would be fucked up.
I mean, wouldn't you be telling this guy, like, go lock yourself in your room for 3 weeks?
Hey, speaking of that, Kamara is going to be cleared to play by just one day.
Right.
That's crazy.
And a lot of people were saying they moved that game to Sunday because of that reason.
Well, who knows? It may be true, it may not be true, but...
Because they say the Saints are the most unluckiest team in the league every year. And this year they got lucky. But it is the Bears, so did they really need them?
Well, I'd rather have them than not
of course. Yeah, and don't sleep on the Bears' defense. When they really want to play well, that defense is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So I think that's all I got. If you have anything else, it's been a couple weeks since we've done one of these shows. So is there anything you want to say to the juice heads out there? Are you good?
No, they heard enough of my voice for this evening, so I think I'm good.
All right. Well, with that, on behalf of the NFL Boycott Club, you sexy bitches out there, you stay safe, enjoy Super Wildcard Weekend, and we'll see you next week with the Divisional Round Show. Peace out.
Good night, everybody.